Ahoy everyone, this is David Eugene Perry with my continuing series of interviews in the Zoom room with artists around the world, and I am very honored today to be speaking to someone that my husband Alfredo and I met, my goodness, seems like yesterday, but 13 years ago at Bay Area Cabaret, the one and only Amanda McBroom. Amanda, welcome.
Hello, my darling. How are you?
I'm fine. So everyone in Palm Springs is VV excited about you coming back. When was the last time you were here at Michael Holmes' Purple Room?
It was, God bless Michael, it was, I believe, the fall of 2020 before, the world did
Oh,
whatever the
no,
world
so you
did.
must mean the fall of 2019.
2019, that's right. 2019, that's it. But yet, like I said, time is an herb to me. I have no idea what's going on in the world. But yeah, that was it. And it was, I love the Purple Room. I think it's, don't tell anybody, but it's my favorite venue, as it is with so many people. So I'm delighted. And this is my first time in a high heels and a bra for 2 years. We'll be at the Purple Room.
Wow, and are you in the high heels and the bra now? Just asking for my audience.
I'm in the bra. I'm gonna have to practice the heels.
Yeah, 2020 is just like a great hole in our calendar and our psyche. And the Purple Room coming back has been a big boost, not only economically for the entertainers and the staff, but psychologically for Palm Springs, a big deal. What is it that's so special about that room?
There is a feeling to it, and I totally attribute that to Michael Holmes. I think he has done something wonderful by preserving that space, spiffing it up so it's as elegant as it ever was. And he, maybe it's him and the staff, everybody is treated so beautifully by them. And it just feels like you're stepping back into 1952. You and Rosemary Clooney are going to have a martini after the show, and the audiences get dressed up. The audiences love what they hear. It's just such a gift to be able to work that room. It's like stepping back into the Rat Pack.
You're absolutely right. And of course, a lot of people don't know, I know you do, that that's where the first time that Sammy and Dean and Frank all got on stage together. There at
I
the
was so knocked out when I found that out, and it feels like it too. It reeks of history.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now, Amanda, I have been calling you a triple threat. I'm sure you've been called that before. Composer, singer, actress, actor. Uh, which of those three monikers do you resonate with the most?
Oh, Lord save us. Um, I would have to say that singer and actor are to me the same thing.
Hmm.
Every song that I perform or every song that I've ever written is a one act play, or maybe a three-act play, depending upon how far it goes. So for me, they are the same thing. And the songwriter thing is like I'm writing my own plays because who else is going to do it for me?
Right, right. I mean, so many people have said, oh, of course, yes, she wrote The Rose. I was like, well, yes, but she wrote many other things and on Broadway and off Broadway. And your rendition of The Rose, all respect to Bette Midler, I mean, when you sing it, I cry all over again. What,
Bless their heart.
do you remember the inspiration for The Rose?
Oh, yeah. I wasn't a songwriter at the time. It was just a hobby. I was strictly an actress. I was driving down the Ventura Freeway, and this really cool song came on the radio. It was a song by a wonderful writer named Danny O'Keefe called Magdalena, which Leo Sayer had recorded. And there was a line in it that said, "Your love is like a razor, my heart is just a scar." And I said, "Oh, that is the sexiest thing I have ever heard." And as I was driving down the freeway, I thought, I don't think love is like a razor. What do I think love is? And it was the first time, this has happened to me a few times since, but somebody opened the top of my head and words just started pouring into my brain. And this is in the days before, you were recording anything. So I was was driving madly home and reciting what I was hearing and reciting what I was hearing. And I ran home and I ran into my music room and I picked up a pencil, and 15 minutes later, there it was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, having, experienced your show firsthand, first ear, it is truly moving because every song is like a one act play. When you perform, it's about your life, it's about your heart, it's about your soul. Something else that a lot of people don't know, and I know one of the people who will be seeing you here is another huge, I'm going to out myself, Star Trek fan, Patrick Evans, local reporter. When I told him, I said, you've got a Starfleet captain coming to Palm Springs. How did that happen? And did you become friends with Patrick Stewart before that or because of that?
Oh, because of it, I auditioned like every other actor on the planet does, and they gave me the role of Judge Adjutant General of the Universe, and I have been a Star Trekkie since the first day of the first William Shatner. Yeah, live long and prosper,
Yeah.
And so it was a fantasy fulfilled to be on Star Trek and to be in the Patrick Stewart version. And he was so lovely and gracious and kind to me. And we had a wonderful time on the set. He's a very silly person. Actually, everybody in that cast were very silly people. There was a lot of rubber spiders and stuff like that going down people's uniforms. All the time, they had a wonderful time on the set. And he was very kind and gracious to me. And we stayed friends for quite a while.
Yeah. There's something magic about that universe. I always say I've been a Star Trek fan since I was a small boy as well with Captain Kirk. And I always like to say it's because it's hopeful. It shows that we made it.
Absolutely. Well, yes, on that. And also the Star Trek, what they call the Star Trek Bible, which Gene Roddenberry had created. There are rules about the stories that must be written, and they must all be positive. There must be a moral lesson in each one. There can't be too much violence. He wanted this series to be uplifting, and I think he succeeded really well.
Yeah. So talking about uplifting, how did you keep yourself uplifted during COVID? The worst thing ever for a performing artist, a singer like you.
Well, it's so funny you should say that because I had been wandering around in my gardener. That's my hobby. I'm a gardener because I can't cook. And I'd said, I wonder what it would like to be retired. And the universe said, you want to know? Bang! And for the first 2 months, it was really fun. There was nothing to worry about. There was no scheduling. We weren't, booking flights on planes. And it was summer vacation, and then it was fall vacation, and then it was winter vacation, and then it was, and then it became really a challenge. And at the time, I thought I was handling it pretty well, but I look back in retrospect and realized that it was depressing, not so much for me, but for watching the struggles of all of my friends and just reading about the struggles of everybody. It was certainly a spiritual challenge, and certainly a lesson in trying not to be cynical and not to be hopeless. And of course, at the same time with COVID is the political, the whole political tango that's going on, and trying not to be depressed about that either. It was just sort of like the universe said, tighten up, exercise your optimism muscles.
Yes, yes.
And do good. Do good for people who need it right now.
So how has your show changed because of COVID? Or has it?
We'll find out. I haven't done a show since COVID. There's new material.
Yeah.
There's some of it is COVID related. Some of it is just songs that got written during this time of crisis. I have a feeling the conversation will be hopefully a little deeper, maybe a little bit more compassionate, and I hope that it'll, my wish always, as with so many performers, is that I can do some good for someone. And hopefully my music will do some good, lift some hearts, make people, there's some new funny stuff in there. Hopefully some hearts will be, people will laugh, maybe people will think, and maybe people want to hold hands with a stranger. Who knows?
Tell me a little bit about your musical director, your partner in all this.
Oh, Michelle, my beautiful friend. She's my bestie. We've been writing songs together since 1974, which is ridiculous. I
You were 8, so
And
yeah.
she was 7, yes. She's probably the most brilliant musical person I know. She's a stunning pianist, a stunning composer, and we have a really, really good time. I call her my sister wife. We've been creating together since 74, and we haven't had any major falling out, no divorces. So she's something. I'm so blessed that she came into my life because otherwise I'd still be writing folk music.
Well, tell me a little bit about the show. What, without giving it away, what are we going to hear? What is the arc of this show? And there's a title to it. What's the theme?
We called it Crimes of the Heart because we were thinking, well, the Purple Room is sexy. We wanted something that was sexy, romantic, a little dangerous. So I have a song that I wrote called Crimes of the Heart, which is one of my favorite songs. And certain people say it's probably one of my best. And so we just started to build the show around the different kinds of love and the different ways people fall into dysfunction around passion. And so it's just sort of investigations of different kinds of love gone wrong, love gone right, because you can't, almost all the songs in the world are about love. And unless you're writing like Michelle and I have from time to time for baby dinosaurs, in which case there's songs about mud and dinner. But this one's going to be sexy, passionate, political, and hopefully funny.
Well, tell us a little bit about that since you made my segue. Writing for dinosaurs and some other things that people may not know about you.
Oh, yes. Well, Michelle and I have been writing for animated features for children. We just completed our 20th animated feature for DreamWorks for Curious George, which
Oh,
is,
I loved that book when I was a kid.
oh, honey, well, there have been 6 Curious George films, and we've written the music for the last 3. And before that, we wrote the songs for 14 Land Before Time movies. And it's so much fun to write for animation and to write for kids because it's not about passion and it's not about broken hearts and love. It's about mud and friendship, and it's way fun. It's like writing mini musicals, which Michelle and I love to do because we're both theater babes.
Well, in our last few moments, what would you like to say to the audience that is already lining up to see you on November 6th here at Michael Holmes' Purple Room in Palm Springs? Go online, purpleroompalmsprings.com, get your tickets now. What would you like to say to the audience, and what would you like to have them take away from this show?
Well, first off, I'm incredibly grateful that they're going to come and be my first audiences in 2 years.
Wow.
I can promise them really good music. I can promise them fun. I can promise them feeling. And I hope that they will come away from the evening with some joy in their hearts and maybe a little passion.
We have been speaking with the one and only Amanda McBroom, also Starfleet captain, very excited to say. And on November 5th and 6th, you're going to experience her show, Crimes of the Heart, a little bit passionate, a lot loving, and maybe a little edgy and dangerous and sexy, as she said.
There you go. If I can
Thanks.
wear my high heels, yes, they will be.
She'll be there with her high heels and her bra. Thank you, Amanda. Ahoy.
Well, you see, ahoy.